This week it's Hammertime. A friend of mine needed one, so I asked him what for, and it turns out he wants to open beer kegs with it. So I guess we need something big and sturdy. So I thankfully had some oak still laying around and got a fresh slab from my local lumber yard. So let's make a nice big hammer. Basically all we're doing right here is cutting the whole thing roughly into shape. And if you might now ask yourself, why is the band or guard so high up? Well, because I made a mistake. So just throw it through the planer a couple of times. That's for good measure, so everything is square and even. And now you might see that somebody built an electronic height adjustment for his planer. This is all open source, so you can build the same thing too. It's built on my Hammer A31, but I guess you can also adapt it for others. Well, that doesn't look that bad. Some more cutting into length. And of course we need now the handle for this hammer. We are doing just some marking so we know which part will be in the end hidden inside of the hammer, and the rest of this will need some carving. So I guess let's take the angle grinder and start carving away. But not with this blade, wrong blade. Yeah. And of course always wear a respirator, because this will be a very dirty work. And as you can see here in the super slow-mo, it's like carving with a hot knife through butter. It's just beautiful. So I guess let's get the sanding started. Mounted on the power drill, that helps a lot, because I'm lazy. And as you can see, it starts to get the shape of a nice round handle, which will be perfect for a little hammer. While we glued up the other thing, we just removing some imperfections and put it to the final dimensions. And if you have a vacuum cleaner, you should turn it on when you do this. Not like me. There was a little bit of remaining wood which we removed, and here we are using the router. And please don't kill the cameraman, he tries his best. Yeah, it's not that good. So now we need a nice big hole to mount our handle in. The good idea would have been to use smaller drills, and a couple of them, to just remove the material. With that solution I had to chisel away very much. And again, you are not gonna see anything because somebody shot this from the wrong direction. So all you'll see is my hand. Okay, we are now done, and we now have to push the whole thing in. And yeah, as you can see, we put in a little groove on the other side, so it has some space to go, and this already looks quite promising. But we need some sort of a wedge to keep to fix the whole thing in place. As you can see, the blade guard was now on the right position, but yeah, see ya. A few gentle strokes with the hammer. All is working. And we can cut off the excess. And the whole thing already looks like a hammer. Pretty nice in my book. Let's put a little bit of a chamfer on all of the edges. Of course you can do roundovers as well if you like, but in that case I said a 45-degree chamfer is just the right thing. And of course I'm speeding the whole thing up because ain't nobody got time for that. Alright, so already looking like a proper hammer. You now might ask yourself, why did I use two different wood species for this hammer? It's only because of optical reasons. Yeah, sanding, and I also should have worn some sort of respirator, but well, I'm not perfect, more sanding. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's in the end of the day it's still a hammer, so it should look a bit nice, but it should, yeah, it's a hammer. After I broke the edges, I also had to sand down some burn marks because the router a bit was not that sharp anymore. But yeah, that's how looking is fixing one's mistakes. Yeah, but I think this is already looking pretty neat though. Not just the shaft which has to be sanded. And yeah, no comment on that one. Whatever gets the job done. Here you can see the nice drawing my wife made, and it's finishing time, so we are using some hard wax oil because it's not gonna see that much of an abuse, but it just gives this, it really brings out the colors and it brings a little bit of a shine to the whole thing. Yeah, that's already the end. I think it turned out quite nicely. It will open some beer kegs, so I guess the mission is successful. The other one you see on the left side is my private one. It's made in the same style as the workbench, so I got matching outfits, and I guess that's what counts. Thanks to the two people for making it this far. Leave some hateful comments for the cameraman, he might improve maybe. Everybody else, see you next time.